How you doing, everybody? ABC Action News Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips giving you an update on Hurricane Idalia. Now with winds of 80 miles an hour, it's going to continue to intensify, and it is going through what is known as rapid intensification. The pressure has lowered 7 millibars in the last 3 hours. By definition, rapid intensification is a 24 millibar drop in 24 hours, so it is well on its way. The storm has moved into the Gulf of Mexico. There are fewer inhibiting factors for development, and I think it is very likely this does become a Category 3 hurricane. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is it's only going to be over water for another 24 hours, and this is as of around 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Landfall expected around 9 or 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. The Hurricane Center and the models have continued to track west away from the Bay Area. Landfall now, according to the NHC, is on the Dixie-Taylor County border in the Big Bend area. And as we were saying yesterday, we didn't expect hurricane-force sustained winds in the Bay Area with yesterday's track. This one is even a little bit more to the west. The big question everybody wants to know is, can it curve more to the right? Look, we all know weather's fickle, anything's possible. But I'll tell you a couple of things. The models are as tightly clustered on this track as I may have ever seen. The reason is we have had hurricane hunters flying through this thing constantly for the last 4 or 5 days, gathering more data than I've ever seen. The better the data, the better the forecast. So with this forecast such that it is, with this forecast at 24 hours or less, depending on when you're watching this, before landfall, real comfortable in saying that sustained hurricane force winds will not directly impact the Tampa Bay area. We were saying this yesterday. Today we feel even more confident with it. And one of the main reasons is right now, hurricane force winds only extend 15 miles out from the center. That's it. Now it will expand, and as it gets bigger and stronger, those winds by landfall may be as wide as 50, 55 miles away from the center. Based on what you're looking at right here, that is still nowhere near the Bay Area. We will still get hurricane force wind gusts along the coast. If you live inland, and when I say inland, let's say east of I-75, you're just going to get some tropical storm force winds out of this and not even much of that. You're going to get some rain, some gusty winds. I don't expect any major issues whatsoever. The bigger issues obviously are in the area of red, off toward the north from Pinellas County northward. That is where the track and that is where the hurricane warnings are now in effect. Manatee is no longer in that hurricane warning. We expect winds of nearly 120 miles an hour on landfall, but it's going into an area that is very rural. There are people in there, but overall, there's probably lower population in that part of the Big Bend than most any other place along the coast, the west coast of Florida. There will be tornado watches tonight. That's what's really bad about the setup is it's going to be arriving at night. So there will be some power outages, and having the power go out at night is lame. Have your flashlights ready. Have everything ready to give yourself an easy way to make it through the night without any power if that is the case. Charge all your phones. Charge your backup batteries because you can watch if you lose power. We have our streaming app and you can actually watch all our coverage live on your phone or your computer, so you'll be able to actually see what's going on as opposed to being in pitch black darkness and hearing all the wind blowing outside you. So again, that's where we are right now. Storm surge is still the biggest issue. And I posted a link on my Facebook page on how you actually can click to a link from the Hurricane Center that shows you a Google map of what the predicted storm surge is for your area. Now, what's storm surge? Storm surge is only an area that is impacted by Gulf water that is being pushed in. It has nothing to do with rainfall. If you live away from the water, you're not going to have storm surge. You could see some inland flooding, but even that is a little less likely because we've been in a drought and the ground will probably suck up most of the rain that we see. Surge is when the water is pushed into the Gulf or the Bay or local rivers or whatnot and cause a water rise, and we're going to have a high tide anyway tonight. So there will be surge. That is the biggest issues. If you live in a mandatory evacuation area, you're not evacuating because of the wind. You're evacuating because of the potential of the water coming up or into your home. This will be done by tomorrow morning. For our area, mid to late morning, the winds are going to start to die out. And I think by the afternoon, we're just going to be looking at some rain. So again, for the Bay Area directly, water surge by far the biggest concern. I do not expect sustained hurricane force winds. I think we see winds of 45 to 55, gusting up to 65 in most areas, and maybe even a little stronger in a few spots. We'll be updating 24/7 as always. I hope this information is helpful to you, and we'll be back all night long with live continuous coverage on ABC Action News. You guys be safe and have a good day.